Okay, this is the flipped lesson for Friday's class. It's very simple. I've already showed you this example of theory writing. So we've been working on how to interpret Pride and Prejudice through the lens of literary theory for this entire unit. Now that we're at the end of the unit, I want you to seriously consider how the theory can help us interpret one particular part of the book. So you've practiced this a little bit, but now I want you to have an entire period to practice, both because it's good practice and because for your test you'll have to be able to explain to me the meaning of these theoretical viewpoints. So here's how it's going to work. Tomorrow you're going to come into class and you're going to receive a specific scene from Pride and Prejudice. Each band will get a different scene. And what I want you to do is choose two theoretical viewpoints. Could be the feminist viewpoint, Marxist, historicist, or psychoanalytical, and provide an explanation and analysis of the scene you read based on those two viewpoints. So it should be two separate mini essays using the format on this slide here. So I showed you this already, but now you have it to review and look at. It's 3 paragraphs where I first basically introduce the topic that I'm writing about and 1 or 2 lines from the scene that I'm going to analyze. And I explain those lines in the context of the theory, meaning, how does it relate to the overall topic, and then I draw larger conclusions. 3 paragraphs. So I want you to read over what I have here and write down notes for yourself to bring to class tomorrow. What's the structure that you need to write? And basically you need to know that you should have 3 paragraphs for each of your mini essays. So this first one, we introduce the topic and the lines you'll analyze. The second, we explain the lines. The third, we explain the wider significance to the theory and the text. So, just summing up what tomorrow is going to be like. You walk in, you will get 1 sheet of paper with a scene from Pride and Prejudice on it. You are then to write 2 separate mini essays on loose leaf. Each of those mini essays should be 3 paragraphs long, following this format. 1 mini essay should focus on one theoretical interpretation of the scene. Another should focus on a different theoretical interpretation of the scene. Your choice of theory is up to you. You could use one that you've been using for your responses and another that you haven't, or 2 that you haven't before. Remember the key questions of each theory. For feminists, the question is, how much is this scene or this text upholding or defying gender stereotypes? For Marxist, how much of it is upholding or defying class stereotypes and expectations? For historicist, how does your knowledge of the historical information in this scene affect your understanding of what happens in the scene? And for psychoanalytical, what is the difference between what the characters are saying and doing and what they are thinking and feeling inside? Okay, so that's for tomorrow. You will hand those in at the end of the period. I'll be grading it based upon the effort you put into it. As long as you give it a period's worth of effort, you will get full credit.